The race for 2027 may have entered a new and unexpected phase. For months, one big question has been hanging over Nigerian politics. Who will the North support in the next presidential election? Recent comments from Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed suggest that the answer may not follow the old path. In a public interview, he questioned the future of familiar political figures and pointed toward a possible new direction for the opposition. This is not just another political opinion. It is a signal coming from someone who understands Northern political thinking and influence. So the key question we need to examine is this: is the North preparing for a political reset ahead of 2027? And what could that mean for the opposition? During a televised interview, Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed shared his views on the political direction of Nigeria ahead of the 2027 elections. In the interview, he questioned the continued viability of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as a presidential candidate, arguing that the political environment has moved beyond familiar figures. He acknowledged that Atiku remains the strongest figure when it comes to party conventions, due to experience, structure, and understanding of internal party politics. However, he argued that this strength does not automatically translate into winning a general election. Dr. Baba Ahmed also spoke about Peter Obi, noting that while Obi has strong public visibility and grassroots connection, he faces challenges within traditional party processes. He suggested that the African Democratic Congress, ADC, could become a viable opposition platform if it positions itself properly and avoids internal conflict. These were the main points raised during the interview. These comments are coming at a very strategic moment. Nigeria is still dealing with the after effects of the 2023 elections, while public dissatisfaction around the economy, security, and governance continues to grow. At the same time, opposition parties are quietly repositioning themselves, holding internal talks and exploring possible alliances ahead of 2027. By speaking now, Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed is placing an early marker in the political conversation. He is signaling that discussions about candidates and platforms are already underway, even if campaigns have not officially started. In Nigerian politics, early signals like this matter. They shape expectations, influence negotiations, and guide how power blocks begin to align. This timing suggests that the debate over 2027 is no longer theoretical. It has begun in earnest. The real issue here is not simply whether Atiku Abubakar should run again or whether Peter Obi should change platforms. The deeper issue is political renewal versus political recycling. Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed's comments point to a growing concern within opposition circles that relying on familiar names may no longer inspire confidence across the country. While experience and structure matter, elections are also about credibility, public trust, and the ability to present a convincing alternative to the status quo. His argument suggests that opposition parties need more than strong candidates at conventions. They need candidates who can unite regions, manage coalitions, and present clear solutions to national problems. In essence, the debate is shifting from who can win the ticket to who can realistically win the country. The first group affected by this conversation is the opposition parties themselves. Parties like PDP, Labour Party, and ADC are under pressure to rethink their strategies, candidates, and internal processes ahead of 2027. Next are political power blocks, especially in the North. Statements like this influence how elites, elders, and opinion leaders begin to align or reconsider long-standing loyalties. Candidates and aspirants are also affected. For figures like Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, these comments shape how their ambitions are viewed, both within parties and among influential stakeholders. There's also an impact on younger and undecided voters. Many of them are watching closely to see whether opposition politics will offer something new or repeat old patterns. Finally, the incumbent government is indirectly affected. A reorganized and credible opposition could change the political balance heading into 2027. While the comments raised important points, there are still key issues that were not fully addressed. First, there is no clear explanation of how a political reset would actually happen. Saying the old guard should step aside is one thing, but building agreement around a new candidate is much harder in practice. Second, the risks of internal party conflict were mentioned but not fully explored. Opposition parties in Nigeria have often struggled with implosions during conventions, even when intentions were good. There is also little clarity on how regional balance would be managed. Winning a national election requires careful coalition building across regions, not just strong opinions from one bloc. Finally, there is no detailed roadmap on policy direction. Voters want to know not just who should run, but what will be done differently on the economy, security, and governance. These unanswered questions matter because ideas alone do not win elections without planning and execution. For ordinary Nigerians, this debate goes beyond party politics and political personalities. Many people are frustrated with rising costs of living, insecurity, and uncertainty about the future. They are less interested in who has contested before and more interested in who can deliver real change. When influential voices talk about moving away from recycled candidates, it raises hope, but also skepticism. Nigerians have heard similar promises before without seeing lasting results. For voters, the real test is whether opposition parties can move from talk to action. That means clear plans, credible leadership, and unity that goes beyond election season. If the opposition fails to renew itself, many citizens may disengage further from the political process. If it succeeds, it could restore confidence and participation ahead of 2027. There are a few important signs Nigerians should pay attention to as 2027 approaches. First is how opposition parties respond internally. Will they reform their processes, or will familiar conflicts resurface during conventions? Second is whether major political figures show willingness to compromise. A true reset would require sacrifice, negotiation, and cooperation across parties and regions. Third is movement around platforms and alliances. If parties like ADC begin to attract serious figures and organize nationally, it could signal a shift. Another key thing to watch is policy clarity. Talk of change must be followed by clear positions on the economy, security, and governance. These developments will show whether this conversation leads to real political transformation or fades into routine debate. Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed's comments are more than a personal opinion. They reflect a growing frustration with how opposition politics has been handled in recent years. The question now is not just who wants to run, but who can genuinely unite the country and offer a clear alternative. As 2027 draws closer, opposition parties will be forced to choose between renewal and repetition. So the key question Nigerians should keep asking is this: will this talk of a political reset turn into real action, or will the system return to familiar patterns once again? That answer will shape the next election.